All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining us today. We are so excited to be here to talk about how schools and universities are leveraging automation and no-code tools. By the end of this webinar, you'll have some practical strategies for evaluating how technology can help you as well. If you're new to Jotform, welcome. Jotform offers a suite of no-code solutions designed to help organizations collect, share, and manage their data. It all starts with our incredibly powerful drag and drop form builder. I'm very grateful to have two of my colleagues joining us today. Morgan, our product education manager, will answer your questions in the chat. And Kat, our manager of customer success, will be leading a demo in a little bit, so that way you can get a sense of how these ideas can show up in practice. And one final note, this webinar is being recorded and will be available on our YouTube channel later for future reference. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, here's a quick overview of today's topics. First, we'll do a quick assessment, no grading, I promise. Then we'll address some common obstacles to automation. And then we'll highlight some ways that automation can streamline administration, cut costs, and save you time. Finally, we'll highlight a few resources if you want to dig deeper into any of these topics. And then we'll wrap up with a little Q&A. All right, let's dive in. According to a recent survey of EdTech leaders, administrators, faculty, and staff, the 5 biggest barriers to digital transformation are budget restrictions, low digital literacy, school culture or low buy-in, questions about its value, and a lack of strategy. How those perceived barriers were ranked varied depending on the individuals that were surveyed, but all of these are really valid concerns. Any technology adoption should have a clear purpose, an implementation plan, and communication about the benefits and behavioral changes needed for a successful transformation. Likely, many of you have had these concerns or asked these very questions. So talking about automation is one thing. It's fair to wonder how it will really work in practice. Many of you may be familiar with evidence-based education, which refers to teaching practices that have been shown to be effective based on actual evidence. So rather than expecting you to believe on face value what we share today, here are a few testimonies from our customers in education. So in short, yes, you really can do this, and it really does work. The right technology can save you money, secure sensitive data, empower your staff, and boost productivity. Regardless of your role, there are benefits to embracing technology. Administration takes up a huge amount of time, effort, and paper. By digitizing paper-based processes with online forms and digital documents, you can automatically pre-populate your data, prompt for inputs, route tasks, send requests and notifications, as well as generate reports with real-time data. Consider using links and QR codes to share your syllabus, permission slips, and waivers for easy dissemination and access. No more forgotten papers. You can use online forms to speed expense reimbursement requests and minimize paperwork. You can also securely monitor student health and academic progress with interconnected tables. Consider replicating required government forms with a drag and drop PDF editor to digitize that information for easy routing and reporting. You could also host frequently used resources for staff and student communities with online workspaces and no-code apps. And one final idea is perhaps enhancing information sharing with automated reporting, digest emails, and role-based access to data to keep everything secure. Digitizing your data and leveraging automation generates savings in a number of ways. Line items that are tied to paper-based processes like printing, paper, storage, and shredding are greatly reduced when you digitize your documents. The no-code technology that fuels automation empowers staff, which reduces the need for costly IT projects and bespoke solutions that often just create more data silos. Finally, before evaluating any new technology solution, consider listing all your manual paper-based processes, as well as the systems that make up your entire tech stack. Then ask yourself, honestly, what's working, what could be better, and what's causing bottlenecks or pain points. Look critically at the value each service provides and its cost. Then look for holistic solutions to augment or replace what's lacking. And lastly, don't forget to ask about discounts for educational institutions. Once your data is digitized, you can take advantage of other time-saving strategies. Pre-populating data from an existing database or from one form to another supports faster form filling for registration, add and drop requests, equipment rentals, housing medical forms, and more. Automating administrative processes and eliminating manual emails for status updates with autoresponders, approval workflows, notification emails, and timed reminders can help report out information and prompt action from others, minimizing that opportunity to be constantly searching your inbox and sending new information and new reminders over emails. That also reduces version control. If you have online workspaces that enable your key stakeholders to securely share data and documents for real-time collaboration, you're reducing the risk of those attachments going back and forth and people missing out on key updates. Finally, build community and communication with no-code apps. These are ideal for communicating with students and families on the go, and apps can be a great option for sharing important dates and resources, as well as hosting forums to solicit donations and reinforcing your school culture. Okay, that was a lot of information. So let's shift gears now, and I want you to see an example of how these different EdTech tips can show up in practice. At this point, I'd like to introduce my colleague, Kat, who's going to show you how easy it is to convert your paper forms and documents into digital files. And she'll also show you some examples of some automated workflows that can replace your manual paper-based processes. Take it away, Kat.
Wonderful. Thank you, Lainey. I'll start sharing my screen here. All right, so hi everybody. I am really looking forward to diving into Jotform Enterprise with everyone today. We'll just go ahead and get started. Now, I've already logged into our demo enterprise server here. So what you'll see on the screen is the default landing page for when you or your server users log into your server. This is the My Forms dashboard. Now, this is where all of the forms that you as an individual user own. And today, though, we're going to be working within a team workspace that I've already set up here called Excellence in Ed. You'll see that when I click into the team workspace, that a different set of forms appear. These forms, instead of being owned by myself as an individual user, are forms that the team owns as its own entity. We'll see shortly how this is really helpful for collaboration, visibility, and transparency, especially it comes to the different Jotform Enterprise assets, data, and more that you and your teams will be using. Now, because Jotform Enterprise is a multi-user solution and not a single or individual user solution, you have your own dedicated server. You can collect unlimited signatures, put in unlimited signed documents, create unlimited forms and teams, and even more. And then plus, you also get a dedicated support team that you can chat with via our forum or even live on the line. We really help to empower you to build forms, workflows, apps, and more. So speaking of which, within the enterprise plan, server admins, whether that's like your IT or administrative board team, has what I like to playfully refer to as overlord privileges via the admin console. So I am an overlord. I'm a server admin here. Just to get to the admin console, I would just click my avatar and then go to admin. You can see that I'm labeled admin here. For those who are server users, they would not have access to this. So again, this is unique to us as server admins. I do already have it queued up here. All right, so before we really get into the meat and potatoes of forms and other assets, I just do really want to go over the admin console. So within the admin console that we're looking at now, your team can manage an entire school, district, however you want to set up your server from here. And since this is a dedicated server environment, your server admins have control over just about everything as we see in the menu here. We can even pull up quick reports of submission data to remove from your server to remain compliant if needed. Or you can always check out what your server users are up to within the activity log. You can manage users, teams, form, and of course, contact support from here as well. There's also visibility if you want to control your server identity. So if you want to white label your Jotform Enterprise server, then you can do that here. You can also enable SSO login for all server users if you wish to. We have some really great content that dives much deeper into the admin console on our YouTube page. But as you can see, we do have really great insight, visibility, and control into what's happening on our server and how we'd like that to behave. Please note with this one too, this server is not HIPAA enabled currently. So there are differences in viewing data and collaboration on a HIPAA server versus our standard enterprise server that we're working in today. So with Jotform Enterprise, we offer SOC 2 compliance with our HIPAA servers, and within all servers, we have GDPR compliant solutions as well. But let's just get back into the team workspace. So I can get back there if I just click the logo here. Again, if you white label your server, that would be your logo. But let's just click out of here because I've already got that my team's workspace pulled up. To get there from the My Forms, we would just click in here and then team workspace, or we can always click to edit our forms from this page. All right, so when we click into the workspace, you'll notice that I already have several assets created and ready to show for today. And also that this dashboard looks similar to the My Forms dashboard. We can organize our forms in folders, we can favorite them, archive them, or outright delete them. And as a team admin, I'm able to create any asset that I'd like. You can see I have all of the assets there that I'd like to create. And I also have the ability to adjust the team settings, which means that I can invite and manage members, even the look of the team itself here. For the team members, we can control the access of the team members we invite. So for example, if you've hired a position where you only want that person to create forms. So let's just put creator at example.com for this one. You can see here that we can select and restrict their access to do just that as a creator within the team. We also have these data-centric permissions for team members. As with the admin console, we do have a lot more content diving into the features and functionalities of Jotform Teams on our YouTube channel and on our website. But this is super important, especially if you're going to want to be able to control exactly what your team members can see and do within the team. And very similar to what we saw within the admin console, we can take a look at the activity log, our system logs for emails, and of course, team visibility here as well. All right, I'm just going to click back into our team workspace, which we can always get to from here as well. All right, so let's get started with creating a form. Now, you can see that I've already created a couple of forms here that we'll be working within. But if I wanted to create a form or any other Jotform asset at that, I would simply just click create as we had done before and then select the asset I want. Now, from our form builder, we can create a form totally from scratch. We have our drag and drop form builder that we'll check out in a sec. We can use one of our thousands, and yes, that's not just a flex. We do have thousands of templates. Or if we're digitizing our forms process and we have existing PDFs that we want to turn into forms, we can upload them here, clone an existing form, or we can import a form from any web page. If we go back, you can see that we can also create signed documents from this screen, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. All right, so I'm going to just X out of this. And I'm going to go click into some of the registration form here, the school registration form that I've already created that I have right here in this particular tab. Let's organize those there. So you can see that I have used and modified an existing template. If I wanted to modify this further, I certainly could. For example, if I wanted the background to reflect our school's colors, or if I wanted to upload a photo as the background, the form designer here gives me total flexibility over the look and feel of my form, even down to the CSS code. You can see that this template already comes with some of it. Let's exit out of here. And within the form builder, we have all of the kind of basic elements that you'd want in a form builder, including form upload fields, which I've already added here, and you can add as many as you'd like. So we could just go ahead and drag and drop them there. And you can even adjust each field to accept, for example, exactly the file type that you may require for certain documentation. So in this example, I've asked our registrants to upload a photo of their existing school ID if they have one. And within the properties of this field, like many of our other fields, we can adjust the functionality to suit our needs. So if we go into here and we go options, we can say, well, I only want this in a JPEG or a PNG file type. You can limit that, limit the file size, multiple, advanced. Many of our fields have this kind of functionality within the properties, of course, as it pertains to what that field is. And if we add in a signature panel as well, which is another one that we can do, so let's just scroll up and add a signature. We can add this wherever we'd like it. We can also, if we click here, add and enable Jotform sign for this signature or all signatures on our form. So we can just go in and toggle this on. This adds the benefit of Jotform sign listed on the screen now, like disabling submission editing, sending an audit trail, and more to the signature panels if we want, instead of sending an entirely new Jotform sign document. I'm just going to turn this off for now. But let's click back into build. Let's say that we have a really specific flow in mind for this form, and we want to, based on the result of this form, send through a full-on Jotform signed document and maybe even another form to fill out. Now, this is where approvals comes in. So we can streamline, automate the process in just a couple of clicks. To create an approval flow, which I've already done, we click into settings, approval flows. And if we were going to create a new approval flow, we would just click to create here. But to click into our existing approval, we would just have to click the pencil icon here. Again, I do already have it pulled up, but let's just open it up. All right, so when we first create an approval, the system will automatically create a one-step approval for us, but we can utilize the drag and drop functionality to change this at any time. We can make the approvals as complicated or as simple as we'd like. I've chosen to do a one-step approval for this form, just in particular, but we can add multiple different types of approval tasks, assign multiple approvers, and more. For this, however, I've added an approve and sign element to go to, in this example, our faux headmaster, which is me today, to approve, deny, or waitlist incoming registration requests. Within this approve and sign element, very similar to what we would see within team approval or approval as well, but within this particular one, I've required our headmaster cat to provide their digital signature on any outcome selected. So you can see I've got registered, not registered, and waitlisted. But if I go into advanced, I also want them to submit comments before they select to register, waitlist, or not register that submission. And from here, based on the outcome selected, we have multiple different threads. So if the child is waitlisted, they're sent a PDF that we can customize within our PDF editor that details, say, what the waitlist means, and then an email with contact information and say what comes next. If the child is not registered, then they're sent an email with the specific reasons commented on where the headmaster declined the registration. You can see I've got the comments here. But as you can see here, if our headmaster approves, then we have a couple more steps that we want our parents or our students to take. First, once that approval is received, we want to send a parental waiver to the parent or parents automatically. And then once this is signed successfully, we'll want to have the parent fill out another form, which we can then go into the settings and pre-fill with information to save time and improve the user experience. We'll send an email once that form has been submitted, and boom, we are done. This, of course, is a simplistic workflow, just to show some examples of what we can automate and streamline above and beyond just this first form here. And on the back end, once our form is out there in the world, we have visibility into not only the data, but where we're at in the approval process for each submission. We can also make some customizations, amendments, and optimizations to our data as it trickles in within our tables view. Let's click into this registration table now. To get there from any page, you just click tables, but I do, of course, already have it queued up. Now you'll see that I already have a couple of tabs already built within this table. This is something that we can do and we do see frequently in regards to data layering and organization. We have a couple of different options here. However, within our tables, we can add new columns. If I just go columns, add a new column, or I can scroll all the way to the end here and click add. But of course, it is a lot easier to just go add new column here. I've added a new column that we'll talk about in a second here, but you'll see that we have many, many different options. The column that I've chosen is the single choice, our single selection column. So if I go to next, I can name that, and then you can see here I can enter them manually. We've got a couple of different options. I've already added that here as status. And then if I go in and I edit column preferences, you'll notice that I've manually added 3 outcomes and I've gone ahead and color coded them. So then if I click back into our tables view, I can easily filter out our submissions via the column and sort them. If I want, I can also partition them out into different views for different tabs for easy viewing. So I could go here down to status, includes here, apply filter, and you'll notice that only those that have registered will be here. You can create a new tab, which I've already done here. Just really easy to click and see the different statuses of the different students. Another option, I'm just going to remove this filter from our main one here, is to filter via the approval status, which we can also color code as we saw. We can filter it and we can partition that into separate tabs as well. You can see approval status here. We can do that, or we can simply group everything by approval status. And our color coding and submission organization will happen automatically if we just go group by here. We can also click into the different submissions. We can add comments if we'd like, or as we noticed within our add new column here, we have the assignee here. We can assign different submissions to our different server users if we'd like to do that. If we click into, let's say, this one that's in progress for Winifred here, we'll be able to see where we're at within the approval flow as well. But let's say now that there's a fee associated with the registration, or perhaps we're putting on a fundraiser for the school and we want to be able to collect payment right on the form. Now for this, I'm just going to head back to my team workspace. I've already created an example fundraising form, 2 actually, but I'll click into the first with payment integration, which is this. That's not the right one. This is the right one here. These forms are identical, but they have 2 different payment integrations, as you probably saw when I was clicking around there. We can add in a payment integration at any time by just dragging and dropping it, or just simply clicking on the tab here. I've utilized Stripe in test mode. So you can see that I'm in sandbox mode here, but you can choose what works best for your organization. As Lainey had mentioned, we do have lots of different payment integrations here, and you can select kind of whatever works best for you or whatever you're already integrated with, and it's really easy to go ahead and just set up. Each of our different payment integrations do have some different options within here as well. Now, you might be curious about the other form. For that one, I've integrated the form with our purchase order widget. So you'll see that it is a little bit different. This allows our form respondents to create an order, but they won't have to pay up front. So this use case with the purchase order would be helped along by utilizing something like our approval flows to send that invoice, gather approval for that order, or any other policies that you might have to put into place before collecting payment. Jotform Enterprise acts as a threshold for these payments. So we don't, as if you're going through Stripe, we don't process the payments ourselves. These all go through the selected payment integration provider. We don't have a minimum amount required. There's no extra fees associated with integrating a payment processor into your forms, whatever that might be. Okay, so let's finish up by looking into what we can do with Jotform apps. Again, I'll go back to my team workspace. Let's just move that over here. Now I can go in here and I can go back to all, and you'll see that I have a couple of different apps that I've set up from a template that we have. We also do have numerous templates in our Jotform apps template library. I can also see any of my apps at any time by clicking apps here in the My Forms dashboard and going to the team. So what I've got is a couple of different apps here. This one is external facing and this one is more internal. So I would just go into edit here. This is where you can keep, our teachers. We have our teacher information list. We have our student time cards, student information. So our teachers, our admins, etc., can fill out anything that they'd like here with just an easy click. Like our form builder, we can customize the look and feel of the app and the fields within the app. You'll see we have properties. We can add tables if we want to. We can also, within the settings, enable the add to home screen modal setting here so that our app can be added to a mobile device's home screen for really easy access, especially if you have teachers that are on the go and have their phone with them at all times. This is also super handy. Let's click into the Our School app for the externally facing apps. So the next app here is just a template that we have. We, again, do have lots of templates within the Jotform apps library. It's more an informational app. So this is where you can keep parents and others informed about, say, happenings at school, upcoming events, special days, or any other kind of evergreen messaging that you want to get out. Using an app like this that can be readily available, this is kind of what it would look like on phone, tablet, desktop, and again, we can fully customize the look and feel of this here, is a really great way to help to streamline communications. You can avoid mass emails to parents and really help save on paper announcements. All right, so this has been just a really quick peek into what Jotform Enterprise can do. There's so much more to discover within the platform, and our team is available to answer any questions or provide a quick demo or use case review as to how Jotform Enterprise could help you. But I'll hand it back to Lainey now. Thanks again.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Kat. I think not only are you headmaster for that school, form master, table master, just so much information, so much power at those fingertips. Thanks again for doing that. So as promised, we do have several resources for you if you want to find more ideas or information about leveraging EdTech technology to save you time and money. If you want to dig really deep into the topics we covered today, you can check out our white paper for educators. It's called Tuning Up for Efficiency and Savings. You can find it under the resources section of the Jotform Enterprise website. And then for a little more user inspiration, I highly recommend you check out our customer stories. We have one from Odyssey Charter Schools, one for Amsterdam University of Applied Sciences, Pasadena City College, as well as Universidad Victoria, Francisco de Victoria. And all of those use the system in different ways and have leveraged technology in a lot of different ways to get rid of paper and save time. So plenty of ideas captured there. And then as Kat rightly pointed out, we do have over 10,000 free-form templates, and over 2,000 of those are designed specifically for use in education. So browsing those templates is a great way to explore how others are automating their registration and applications, using forms for quizzes and surveys, exploring technology to help with parent-teacher conferences, all kinds of different ideas. And we also have templates for apps and approvals and tables, as Kat pointed out. So really lots of opportunities to explore additional ways for your school to automate data collection and storage and management. And then finally, as we mentioned at the top of this hour, this webinar is being recorded, so it will be posted to our YouTube channel a little bit later on. If you've not subscribed to YouTube/Jotform, I highly recommend you do that, and you'll be notified of any future updates at that time. Okay, I think that covers it for our resources. At this point, I'd like to check in with Morgan to see if we have any questions from the audience.
Yeah, well, thank you, Lainey and Kat. Fantastic job. Tons of information from both of you. We do have a few questions, and again, if anybody has any additional questions, you can enter those into the Q&A box at the bottom of your Zoom panel now. But we do have a few to go through. I guess first, this one seems pretty significant. Can you talk a little bit about data security in Jotform and how Jotform keeps data safe?
Sure, absolutely. So there is a ton of information on our website, but Jotform does offer a number of robust solutions for security. We offer HIPAA and SOC 2 compliant solutions. At the enterprise level, data is encrypted at rest. So we're happy to work with you with whatever regulations you need. We also have data localization. So if you need to store your data in a specific area, we can do that at enterprise level, offers dedicated servers. So you have that option. Form encryption, there's just a number of different features and functionality, as well as the role-based access that Kat highlighted within the Teams functionality. So yes, very secure. We do take that extremely seriously and can answer any specific questions you have if you want to follow up later.
Great, thanks, Lainey. I know security is always a big concern to everybody, but especially when students are involved, that can be especially significant. So thorough answer, thank you. Do you have any schools? I know you both talked a lot about examples, but do you have any specific examples of school using Jotform as a student management system?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So it was mentioned in the slide deck, but Odyssey Charter Schools replaced a 60-page registration form with a smart form, some conditional logic with Jotform, saved them over $30,000 in their file storage capabilities. Pasadena City College is also using it for registration, and University of Amsterdam of Applied Sciences is also using Jotform to help their students register for different events, and also help them really adopt a more hybrid model of online and in-person learning. So those 3 case studies would be a great way to take a look at how people are using that.
Oh, thank you. You just mentioned, student registration. There's another question here about collecting payments in Jotform. I'm thinking of how we could use this for athletics management but they need to collect money for uniforms and other athletics related things. Can you talk, I think you mentioned this in the beginning, Lainey, but can you just reiterate about collecting payments in Jotform?
Yeah, we have over 40 payment integrations, and Jotform does not collect any additional fees on top of that for this service. And we also have a major university that uses Jotform Enterprise to manage their athletics department, including ticket sales. So definitely a tried and true opportunity, and would encourage you to check it out and see if it works for your situation.
Great, thank you. There's another question also related to student information. They say our school has been considering using Jotform for staff paperwork, but hadn't thought about using it for student stuff as well. And they want to know if they can do both with a single account, and maybe you could share a little bit about how you might manage that as well.
Sure. So yeah, I think Kat did a great job of showing that on the apps, as well as some of the approval workflows, so that you can automate and have forms for both staff-facing and student-facing information. Everything from logging expense reports or timesheets to collecting registration forms from students. If you have materials that you check out, a lot of people use their library as a way to check out laptops. I know, like with the shift to digital, a lot of people have students' laptops that they loan out, books, obviously. So yeah, you can absolutely host all of those within the one existing account, and you just decide in that publish tab who you're going to share it with, how you're going to share it. And also with Enterprise, we have SSO login, and we also have ways to restrict forms so that they're private, or you just have company access. So there's lots of ways to flex the program and to make sure that your forms are reaching their intended audiences.
Cool, thank you. And somebody's asking if there are solutions available for scheduling and event automation as well.
Yes, absolutely. We have several customers who use Jotform Enterprise to manage their events. The ones that come to mind are nonprofits, but you can check out case studies with Arbor Day Foundation and United Way of Roanoke Valley for more ideas and inspiration there. Lots of use cases for hosting both local and international events, registration, waivers, all those things.
Great. We have just a couple more questions. Lainey, I believe you mentioned this in the opening slides. But the question is, did you say that we're able to generate QR codes for forms?
Yeah, absolutely. So when you're in that form builder, the third tab over is the Publish tab, and there's options to have a QR code that will automatically generate for a quick share. There's actually a whole quick share tab that allows you to share via an email, a link, or social. You can also have lots of options for embedding a form. So yeah, many ways to share the form, including a lot of people like to share them as a template. So if you have someone that has created a form that is specific to your brand standards, or if you have lots of forms with overlapping similar form fields and you want to give everyone a head start, that's a great way to share a form just so that people can have a nice baseline form to work from that ensures your brand standards are met, and then they can just drag in and out the form fields that they need or don't need.
Awesome. Well, the last question is, can we get a recording emailed to us? So I can go ahead and take that one. Yes, we should be following up with you with a recording within the next week. And just to reiterate what Lainey mentioned at the top of our Q&A here, you can also find this on our YouTube channel, hopefully within the next 24 hours, if not even earlier than, well, I guess it can't be earlier than within the next 24 hours, but you'll find it on our YouTube channel. You can find us at you just looking for Jotform YouTube and you'll find us there. But yes, within the next week, you'll get the recording emailed as well, and you can review it, share it, whatever you want to do with it. And yep, that is I think I got to everything else. So that was our last question. So Lainey, I will toss it back to you to close us out.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Morgan. Appreciate you monitoring that chat and helping folks out. So yeah, just thank you everyone again for joining us today. Highly recommend that you check out those resources. And if you have additional questions, feel free to reach out to us directly. And we look forward to seeing you at a future webinar. Thanks again and have a great week.